Today we will first take up the practice of bodiless stage that Baba is talking about. And in that, Baba is saying that we need to practice being bodiless. And Baba says the busier you are, the more you should practice bodiless stage. And there is this very beautiful saying that everybody should meditate every day for, some minutes. And if you are more busy and you can't find the time, then meditate 3 times the specified minutes. Because the busier you are, the more you are in need of meditation. Now, Baba says that if you are a very busy person, then what happens is, whether you are busy doing your work or, Baba's children are also busy doing seva. So if you're very busy, then what happens is you get tired. And the busier you are, the more challenges also you face all through the day. And then what happens is this tiredness and these upheavals that come in your way, they drain your energy. And although you want to accomplish a lot, you're not able to accomplish that. And Baba says, for accomplishing more in a given frame of time, you need detachment. Yes. Now, this word detachment, do you like this word detachment? Do you want to be detached? Yes. So, most people don't like this word detachment. And people think that detachment will make them feel happiness and joy and excitement lesser. So I was just talking to one brother the other day, and he was telling me that the only idea that I don't like about spirituality is the idea of detachment. So I said, why? I said, but if you practice detachment, then you will feel sorrow less. And then he said, but I will also feel happiness less. And I don't want to compromise on that. So when I'm eating food and I'm relishing the taste, or I'm on a holiday and I'm partying, so I want to feel that feeling of indulgence. So I don't want to be detached from my senses because then it reduces my experience of sensual pleasures. So then I was just telling him that although, we have many reasons for practicing detachment, and most reasons are spiritual in nature. But even if I go by what you are saying, that you want to feel the happiness and joy and excitement of the senses, of the pleasures that come from the senses, you still need to be detached. So I said, why? So I said, let's say, you gave the example of partying. Now you are on a holiday and you are partying, and then somebody spills something on your dress. And then you cannot take it off your mind because you have not practiced detachment. Then what happens? It kills the zeal of your party. So you will not be able to experience the happiness of the party any longer because somebody spilled something on your dress. Although it was accidental, if you can't let go of it, how will you enjoy the rest of the party? So, or even if you have a very sensory idea of happiness. So, these days people say we are living our lives in pursuit of happiness. Why? Because most of the time you are just making an attempt to have something or do something which gives you happiness, even if that's your idea. But then what happens is when you are in pursuit of that, you are facing so many obstacles that either you get tired or your whole excitement, your whole happiness is lost in the process. So, Baba says it's very important to practice detachment, because if you are not practicing detachment, then if you are not able to, so practicing detachment helps you let go of what you want to let go of. So if you have the vice of attachment, attachment is called a vice. Lust, anger, ego, attachment, and greed are vices. And if you have the attachment of vice, then that attachment of vice puts you in bondage. And you cannot let go of that which you want to let go if you have attachment. And that is why, people are feeling miserable and sorrowful and hurt, and they are in pain. But because of attachment, you want to release that hurt or pain or anything, but you can't let go of it because there is attachment. And Baba says, if you can't let go, how will you move ahead? Because if you are carrying a lot of burden with yourself, then you will get tired. You will be somebody who gets stuck in several places, somebody who gets weary and tired. So then, how will you reach your aim? Yes, so even if the aim is limited pleasures, very difficult to reach. Yes, sometimes you get a glimpse of it and you keep following it, but you cannot do it for very long. And then here, Baba is giving us the aim of the soul, which is to, reach its highest potential or change from a human to a deity. And how will you do that if you have attachment along the way and you're not able to let go of what you need to let go of? Let go of those thoughts, feelings, those habits which you need to let go so that you reach your aim. But if you have attachment and you are doing this, you're traveling this journey with attachment, then you will get disturbed in upheavals and you will carry much more burden that you need to, and then that will make you very weary and tired. So Baba says this is important, to be detached, and the busier you are, the more you are taking up to reach your goal faster, the more you need to be detached. And what is the practice for being detached? So the practice is practicing bodilessness. So all attachments to the physical world, all attachment to relationships or things, people, places, and things, they are because of attachment to the body. And how do you practice detachment? By knowing that you are a soul separate from this body and practicing it. So every now and then you just sit in the awareness, come to the awareness that I'm the soul separate from the body and I'm just me. I'm just a point of light. I'm just peace. I'm just purity. And I have yoga with just one Baba and no thoughts about the physical world. And when you have this practice, then what will happen is you will be able to let go of whatever you want, for whatever thoughts, feelings, or whatever is on your mind. You want to let go of it. It will take just 1 second to let go of it. And that is why, Baba says, to the extent that you're busy, it is just as essential for you to practice being bodiless every now and then. The tiredness that you have from doing service or any upheaval with one another will not then take place. If you practice becoming detached in a second, then when anything happens, because of that practice, you will be able to go beyond whatever has happened in a second. As soon as you think about it, it will happen. You just think about going beyond what happened, and you will be able to go beyond it. You will be able to let go of it. You will not have to battle. Otherwise, there's a battle going on. You want to let go of something and you can't let go of it. And it is very interesting that when you walk and you want to move your foot forward, then you have to lift the other foot from behind. If you can't lift your last foot, you cannot put a foot forward. So it is very important to have this ability to go beyond what happened, or who did what. If you want to progress further, if you want to think about the next thing, you have to stop thinking about the last thing that you're thinking about. And if you don't practice this practice of being bodiless, just so what is the difference between practice and application? So what today Baba is talking about is the application of the practice of bodilessness. Now, practice is done in favorable circumstances, and application is done in difficult times. So, somebody who doesn't practice in favorable circumstances is not likely to be able to apply in difficult circumstances. So we need to practice first. So Baba says, in very favorable circumstances, whenever you feel like, whenever the time is conducive, whenever you have no work to do, then just let go of all the thoughts of the physical world of matter, of this body, and just sit in the awareness of your true form, your true relationship with Baba, and your essence of peace and purity. Just think about yourself and Baba and sit in the experience of being yourself and being in the canopy of Baba. And if you practice this, then what happens? You create the capacity to detach. And then when you want to detach in unfavorable circumstances, then you will be able to do so. But somebody who has not practiced in favorable circumstances will not be able to go beyond the thoughts that are disturbing and the thoughts that are consuming your mind when you want to otherwise. So this is one thing. Then today Baba reminds us that this is the time of settlement. And when there is a time of settlement, then what do? So you don't get caught up in why. So, for example, if you have taken a loan from somebody and that person comes and asks you to pay back the loan, then that is not the time to ask, when did I take this loan? That is the time to prepare about how will you pay it back. So Baba says that this is the time for settlement. And do you know that in every religion, the time of settlement has been talked about? So in Hinduism, we talk about, there is a whole Garud Puran about it. And we talk about, how when the time of settlement comes, then everybody has to settle their accounts. And in that scripture, it is written that you will be drowned and you will be baked and you will be fried, and all these things will happen to you because it is the time of settlement. And then in Islam, there is this thing called Qayamat Ka Samay. And they say that when it is Qayamat Ka Samay, then all the dead bodies that are buried underground will come up and emerge, and then you have to deal with that. And then in Christianity, it is called the Day of Reckoning, when, or the Day of Judgment, when all your accounts will be brought before you and you have to settle them. And Baba says that it is not some day that you have to settle all your accounts. So this is the time of settlement, when this Sangam Yuga is the time for creation of a future income also. And it is also the time of settlement, when all your past karmic accounts will come up, and you will not be baked or fried or drowned, or there will not be dead bodies waking up. It's just that all the karmic accounts will come up before you. In what ways? In the ways of unforeseen and unpredictable and unfavorable situations and behaviors and events. Whether it is a health situation, whether it is a mental health situation, whether it's something going on with the finances or the external environment, or it is something going on with relationships. So this is how karmic settlements come up. And Baba says that Baba is giving us the knowledge that this is the time for settlement. So when you know that this is the time for settlement, what do you do about it? So you prepare so that you can settle. Yes, so when you know that you have to pay a loan back, then what do? You accumulate enough so that you can pay that loan back without it causing you any harassment. So Baba also says that now that you have understood that it is the time to settle, so what do? You study. Because this study, this understanding of knowledge, the power of understanding, the power of yoga, the capacity for virtues, and the stock of good wishes. Okay, you need 4 things. You need the power of understanding so that you don't fight wrong battles. Yes, you need the power of understanding so that you don't get caught up in why is this happening to me, or this should or this shouldn't. You need the power of understanding to make proper choices. So first thing is knowledge. You need the power of knowledge. Now you see, many people think that if I didn't do something to somebody, then they won't do something which I didn't expect to me. But The power of knowledge tells you that anyone, anytime, anywhere can do anything they like and they want. Yes. And then if you don't have that understanding, then you will keep questioning yourself. Why did they do this to me when I was so nice? Or what could I have done better? And there are no answers to these questions because it is just how they had to behave. And it has got nothing to do with you doing something wrong or you having the capacity to make it better. But you need the power of understanding to do that. Or, people think that if they used force, then other people will mend their ways. And they spend their whole life using force on others. Sometimes emotional force, sometimes, the force of power, sometimes the force of fear. But then ultimately, you have to understand that you're just wasting your energy by doing that. Instead, if you use that same energy to build resilience to whatever they are doing, it will help you better. So you need a lot of understanding. There is this expression, choose your battles. Have you heard that? But you cannot choose your battles until you have the power of knowledge. So everybody is fighting battles out there. But Baba says that the only battle you need to fight is within yourself. Just fight the battle with your sanskars. Don't fight any other battle outside. But people, even if they, hear this, choose your battles, they can never choose to fight the inner battle. They will always choose to fight the outer battle. But it is your sanskars that you have to fight. So you need the power of understanding, because most things that you shouldn't be engaging your spiritual energy with, you are engaging it because you don't have the power of knowledge, the power of understanding that this is just a karmic settlement, and people's situations and behaviors, they are just here to get settled, and I don't have to unnecessarily entangle my energy in fighting with it. So you need the power of understanding. Then you need yoga power, because the power of knowledge tells you that you need to be in your power, you need to be in your state of love and peace and happiness, but you can only do that if you have yoga power. So have you seen that many a times, because you are listening to classes and you are accumulating knowledge, so you know that I don't need to react in this situation, or I just need to be loveful, or I just need to be compassionate, or I just need to be a detached observer. But are you able to do that always? No, because there is a gap between the power of knowledge and the power of yoga. So the interesting thing is, you see that here we ask you to join from 7 a.m. Yes, 7 a.m. is the class. So you are asked to join from 7 a.m. And 7 to 7:45, there is yoga. Yes, so there is commentary and you have to sit in yoga. And then 7:45 to 8:30, there's class. But most people, they join, either 5 minutes before the class or 10 minutes before the class. Very few, they join at 7. And then even if you're joining at 7, just look at how much concentration you have Or, are you really practicing sitting in yoga with Baba during that time? So we pay attention to knowledge. We don't pay that much attention to yoga. And you know what? Baba has told us that the balance between Gyan and Yoga should be 1 hour of class and 8 hours of yoga. But these days, what are we doing? 8 hours of class and 30 minutes of yoga. So that is why, you know everything, but mostly we are not able to do what we know. So this is why you need yoga power. When you fill yourself with the love and peace and the purity and the powers by connecting your intellect with Baba, only then can you, understand what you need to do in this situation and then do the needful. If you need to accept, you can accept if you have yoga power. So for settling, you need the power of knowledge. For settling, you need the power of, yog bal, or the accumulated power of yoga. And when we talk about yoga power, it's not like you meditate at that time and settle. No. You will be able to remember Baba when a karmic settlement comes up only when you have accumulated yoga power. If you're not practicing remembering Baba, you will not remember Baba when the karmic account has come up to settle. Then third thing is the power of virtues. So you need to have practiced sweetness and tolerance and patience and everything enough so that you can use it at the right time. Yes, if you don't know how to keep quiet, yes, just keeping quiet is a big virtue. So do you practice keeping quiet? Yes, just keeping quiet. So if you tell yourself, just keep quiet this whole day. Don't talk in the head, don't talk with your mouth, and just keep quiet and don't have any disturbance inside, or don't retaliate outside. And if you have built this, then you will be able to keep quiet at the right time. When you have to settle a karmic account. So, somebody who has come and they are shouting at you, and you know that it will only become worse when you shout back. It will not get better, but you still choose to shout. Have you kept quiet so much that the other person has stopped shouting? Have you dealt with a situation like this? I remember there was this one person, and they told me I'm very irritable by nature. So I tend to get irritated very easily, and I have 3 daughter-in-laws. Now there are 2 daughter-in-laws who engage with me whenever I tell them something. And there is the third, and whatever I tell them, she will just say, and leave. She will not say anything. So I don't tell her anything now. Otherwise, I keep fighting with the 2 other daughter-in-laws all day. So you see how much karmic account you can settle by just keeping quiet. But you need to have that much power, that much power that you can keep quiet, you can keep patience, you can tolerate, you can, So Baba says that you need the power of virtues, and then you need good wishes. You need the power of blessings and good wishes. And especially, when things come up with the body, so for karmic settlements that come up through the body, so you need a lot of good wishes to settle them. You need a lot of power of blessings to settle them, because those power of blessings, they will be able to make you have the patience and the tolerance to deal with the most acute pains. And I have I have heard the experiences of many BKs, good practitioners, who have tolerated immense pain, and they have felt that when that pain came, they felt that that pain was, it was those blessings that they had earned. It worked like a painkiller for them at that time. And they could deal with that pain, they could pass through that pain without getting all, traumatized and without getting very hurt. So, this power of blessings and good wishes is also very important. So, Baba says, how do you earn that? So, there are 4 subjects of study: knowledge, yoga, divine virtues, dharana, and seva. So, blessings you earn through seva, and knowledge is in the class, yoga you have to do, and all through the day, when you live in the awareness that I am a Brahmin and I have to stay in my virtues, then you accumulate the power of virtues when you pay attention to imbibing virtues. So Baba says this is the time of settlement. You should know that, and you should not be involved in any other matter. You should pay a lot of attention to study so that you are able to settle the karmic accounts when they come up for settlement, so that you have enough resources to settle your karmic accounts. Now, the interesting thing is, have you seen that when you drive a car or any vehicle, then the petrol or the diesel or the gas is being consumed, but then the indicator that it is below limit goes off only after some time, and until then there is no warning. So similarly, these karmic settlements, they come up very suddenly. They don't come up with a warning. And from knowledge you have to understand that even if you don't have a very prominent karmic settlement right now, it is coming. And those karmic settlements, when they come, you need to be prepared beforehand so that you have the power to settle it. And if you have not prepared in advance, then that karmic settlement will disturb you when it comes all of a sudden. I remember there is this one Mata, and she came into Gyan 22 years back, and she's been a BK since then. And then her husband left his body some last year. So when he left his body, the Mata was, destroyed, like she was in very much pain, because the husband was a very nice soul and he was also a BK. And then she said that I never imagined that I will ever live without him. So then I asked her, but why didn't you ever imagine? Because Baba is every day giving us the power of knowledge and telling us that, this is the time for destruction and settlement, and everything is going to collapse and we have to go back. So why didn't you ever think that these systems will collapse? So she said, I don't know. I might have thought that because I belong to Baba, so this will not happen. So I said, but Baba never said so. Baba said that we will all go back, and before going back, the whole system will collapse. And when it collapses, you have to have the yoga power, the power of knowledge, the power of good wishes, so that you are unaffected by all the collapse around you. And Baba gave you 22 years to prepare that state of mind, and you didn't. That's why, today you're so disturbed. You are not disturbed because of what happened. You are disturbed because you didn't listen to Baba. And Baba says that, this is the time for settlement. So even if the settlement is not here right now, don't think that if you keep wishing away the settlement, it's never going to come. Every kind of settlement is going to come. Brahma Baba, Mama went through, cancer in the body. That was a karmic settlement, and they had dealt with it with a lot of dignity. And they left the body by transitioning into an angel. And how did they do that? Because they understood what Baba is trying to say, and they prepared in advance. So Baba says, we all have to go back. And before going back, we have to settle our karmic accounts. And those who understand this knowledge, they will pay attention to the 4 subjects of study and accumulate the power which you need in order to settle the karmic accounts that have come up or that are going to come up. Okay? Om Shanti. Anybody wants to share anything, please do.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti ji.
Today Baba is talking about conquering the attachment to the bodies and worldly matters.
Yes.
And by staying in the pilgrimage of remembrance, is celebrating true Deepavali daily.
Yes.
And through this one can accumulate spiritual account for future.
Correct.
And today's blessing encourages being full of the treasure of happiness and finishing wasteful thoughts or actions with this Videhi Sthiti and spirituality.
Yes.
And slogan also says that when awareness is switched on, one cannot have an off mode.
Off mode, yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Om Shanti. Yes.
Shanti Didi.
Om Shanti.
Didi, one is you talked about, one is practice of detachment and the other is application of detachment. Practice of detachment is done in previous circumstances, and application is done when the situation, when the contingency need is there. And I'll be only able to apply when I have done a lot of practice.
Yes.
So application, that is for application, I need to really keep on practicing day in and day out. Correct. So that whenever there be a need, I'll be able to apply it.
Yes.
And second thing I liked is, in the time of settlement of accounts, you never ask questions of why and when, how it is happening with me. Because I've already taken a loan. And at that time, only thing I need to do is repayment of a loan. At that time, I don't create one more, I don't create more new accounts or take a new loan. Because when I'm winning over or like complaining and winning, why me and why I'm creating a new account. So at that time, only thing I need to do is be quiet, be patient, and just settle up whatever accounts I have already created.
Yes.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.